Welcome back, friends. So I've been raising ducks for a little over 4 years now, and I wanted to give you guys a quick start guide so you can start raising them on your own. Well, you might be thinking, why ducks anyway? Well, I think they have a lot of personality, and ducks definitely have a sense of humor. Another great thing is their eggs. So duck eggs are about the same size as a jumbo chicken egg, but they're a lot more dense. I mean, you can feel it in their weight. Duck eggs also have a very large yolk compared to the size of the egg. And that yolk contains more protein and is a lot creamier and richer. They're freaking delicious. So one of the first things you need to know about ducks is what to feed them. Now, ducklings require more niacin than chickens do. So you can feed them non-medicated chick starter, but if you do, you'll have to supplement that with brewer's yeast or some other niacin supplement. But the best thing to do is just to get Purina flock raiser, which already has all the nutrients they need. It's also important to note that for the first couple of days of their life, they don't really eat anything. In fact, it's probably best to wait to introduce food until their third day. And I want to reiterate that if you're going to feed chick starter, do not use the medicated chick starter. It can actually cause deformities in ducks. Now on to water. Now it's probably not surprising that ducks drink a lot, and they will make a huge mess with whatever water you give them. They always try to get in it and splash it everywhere, and yeah, it's a mess. Now to keep the mess down in the brooder, you need to devise a watering system that'll catch the drips and the splashes that they make, and also prevents them from actually getting in the water. Right now, since these are so small, I'm using what I call my level 1 duckling waterer, and I have a bigger one for when they get bigger. You can find both my level 1 and level 2 duckling waterers on my channel somewhere here. The most important thing to keep in mind with the water is whatever you give them to drink out of, they need to be able to dip their entire face in. They need this to be able to clean out their nostrils and their eyes. Otherwise, they could get infections. Now let's talk about the brooder itself. You want something that will contain the huge mess that they're going to make. I've heard of some people using bathtubs, but I really like these clear totes. They're easy to clean, and it lets you see the ducks and the ducks see you as well. Now the other thing your brooder needs is warmth. When the ducks first hatch, they require about a 90-degree temperature to keep from catching a chill. But that goes down every day. And by the end of 2 weeks, 70 degrees is perfectly fine for them. A lot of people use heat lamps, and that's actually probably a good thing in the first 3 days or so. But after that, the heat lamp is probably going to be too hot. Now I live in a warm climate, and I also keep them indoors. So I just use a regular 60-watt incandescent lamp, and that provides enough heat for them. You can tell they're not too hot or too cold by how spread out they are and moving around. If they were cold, they would all be huddled up into one little mass. Now another important part of a brooder is the bedding. You can see here I'm using old shirts. In the past I've tried bedding pellets as well as shavings, and I've had problems with both of those with the ducklings trying to eat them and making themselves sick. So I switched to just shirts because they're easy to wash and they can't really eat them. Another good bedding to use is actually straw. And I use straw a lot in my temporary boxes to carry them around in. The thing to keep in mind with bedding is that whatever kind you choose, you're going to be changing it a lot. Because like I said before, they make a huge mess. I mean, look at this. They've only been in here for like 10 minutes and they've already crapped all over it. Now, since I live in a warm climate, I actually start putting my ducklings outside at about 2 weeks in a nice enclosed little pen, but only during the day. At night, I bring them back inside in their brooder. That keeps them safe from predators as well as keeps them from getting a chill overnight. Now, if you have other adult ducks, it's best to keep them separate from those adults until they're about a month old, or until they're fully feathered out. Then you can start introducing them to whatever other ducks you have. Now, if you want to keep ducks as pets, it's important that you handle them at this age a lot. Basically, the more you can pick them up and carry them around and cuddle them and pet them, the more pet-like they're going to be as they get older. It also helps when they're this age that they actually like being held and cuddled. See, these two just enjoy sitting in my hands. That's not always going to be the case though. Their temperament changes as they get older, and the neoteny wears off. Don't be alarmed when they get to be about 1 month old that your ducks start acting like you're the most terrifying thing in the world. You have to keep in mind that they are prey animals, and to you, you're a predator that's 10 times their size, and it's a perfectly natural reaction for them to be scared of you. But don't worry, this is just a phase. By the time they get to be about 8 or 9 months old, they'll be fully matured and they'll really have calmed down quite a bit. The best thing to do is not to chase them and not to reach out and grab them, because that act of reaching out towards them really invokes that fear response. It's kind of ironic that the less you try to pet your ducks, the more likely you will be able to pet them. So the last thing you need to know before you get started on your duck adventure is how to keep them safe. Even as adults, they require proper housing. For the most part, it's fine to let them free range around the yard in the day, as long as you don't have any weird dogs or other animals coming into your yard during the day. But at night, you need a very secure pen to put them up in. The most common problem is raccoons. Now, raccoons are smart and strong and very common. They're everywhere. And a chicken wire pen is not strong enough to keep a raccoon out. They can literally rip right through chicken wire. What I use is a 10 by 10 dog kennel that I picked up from a big box store. And I put a roof on top of that. And through just repetition and giving lots of treats, I was able to train my ducks to go in it every night. While we're on the subject of treats, let me circle back around to food. Now, while ducklings require a slightly specialized diet, adult ducks will eat literally anything. They are fantastic omnivores. The only thing they shouldn't have is onions and citrus fruits, but if they get into a little bit of that, it's not really anything to worry about. Now, everyone's ducks are a little bit different, but most ducks really love frozen peas as a treat. Mine go absolutely bananas over dog food, of all things. I can literally make them do anything with dog food, so take that for what you will. So there you have it. That's just the basics on what you need to know to start raising ducks. If you have any other questions, please drop them in the comment section below, and I'll try to answer them the best I can. For more duck fun, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.